And what a spectacular day it was on Dalal Street as the Nifty and Sensex both went on to close at record highs. So we shut shop at 68.17 with the Sensex too notching up very smartly in the session and breaching some psychological levels on the upside. You did have the broader markets, by the way, which also performed in tandem with the frontliners, rather outperformed and went on to hit 52-week highs on the BSE mid and small cap indices. It was capital goods and metal stocks that shone in the session today. IT took a bit of a backseat and then FMCG joined the losers list. It was clearly L&T, Sesa Sterlite, you had M&M and a lot of the PSU banking stocks, the likes of PNB, which did very well in today's session. But let's focus in on some of the important results that came out over this long weekend as well. Reliance Industries was on investors' radar. A thumbs up when it came to the refining margins, which topped the record $9 mark in the fourth quarter. And they also said that the retail and shale gas business has turned profitable, even as it did report a marginal rise in its net profit. Wipro, though, came under intense selling pressure. It was muted guidance for the first quarter, and that really raised concerns over the future growth prospects for the company. But nonetheless, the management said that Q1 will not be read as a precursor for the full year. They're fairly upbeat for the second half of FY15. Margins also came in pretty steady. Hindustan Zinc put out its numbers today. Profits came in lower by 13% at 1,880 crores. The top line growth was low by 6.7%, and the capex, according to the company, will be about $250 million in FY15. A good show by ILSC Housing Finance in Q4, 370 crore rupees in terms of the profits, NII at 533 crores, and you had the gross as well as net NPAs, which did see a significant improvement this time around, and it was supported by good NII growth and provision right back this time around, which was on expected lines. Take a look at Natco Pharma today. It soared very smartly in trade after the US Supreme Court rejected Teva's request to stay a lower court ruling in the patent case for its top-selling medicine, Copaxone. Apart from that, you did have Reliance Capital and MCX. Both of those were in the limelight on the upside. In fact, Reliance Capital has emerged as the highest non-binding bidder for stake in MCX, and it's vying for a 24% stake at around $750 per share. JSW Steel reports indicate that they are in talks with Welspun Max Steel for 1,000 crore rupees, and that will help sourcing of cheaper raw material. From the pharma basket, once again, Shasun Pharma soared in the session. The board will in fact be meeting on the 23rd of April to mull share allotment via preferential issue. And from the same basket, Pfizer and AstraZeneca Pharma, as Pfizer is mulling a $100 billion bid for AstraZeneca, and both of the counters were in the limelight on the upside. Hotel Leela did spectacularly well. They are in talks, according to PTI, to sell their Delhi and Chennai properties with sovereign wealth funds of Qatar as well as Abu Dhabi and Malaysia. And they're looking to sell those properties for close to 1,850 crores. The entire railway basket was very active today. Kalindi Rail, Kernex Microsystems. You also had a Texmaco, all of which did fairly well in the session. On the downside, though, Wipro, we flagged off, was a big loser. HUL was off by 1.5%. Ken India, in fact, in an otherwise upbeat market, was very quiet today and, in fact, ended somewhere near the day's low of 363. DLF gave it company, off by 1%. But what's the future view on the markets? In fact, most of the leading experts, they're rather bullish on the Indian markets, and they remain overweight on IT, pharma and industrials going forward.
We will still be positioned positively in IT. Again, we are cognizant of the fact, and we've been highlighting to investors that pre-election the sector can get affected by rotation trade, given the fact investors want to position more positively in terms of cyclical names. Broadly, domestic cyclicals has to be an area where they should be looking at deploying. So if you look at perspective beyond 6 months to 9 months, and that's what we've been saying to investors, and includes private banks, includes cyclicals, cap goods and industrial companies. So these would be the primary beneficiaries of any cyclical recovery, and investors should position for that. And they have started to, but not in a big way yet, but they have started to.
We are relatively upbeat on the Indian market overall. The longer term macro picture, I think, is expected to improve. We do expect ultimately the Reserve Bank of India to start cutting rates, probably quite a bit further out from now. The key challenge, I think, for the Indian market will be what happens in the US from a monetary policy perspective, and whether that puts pressure on the currency at some point over the next few months. Clearly, it's not just the domestic considerations that are important here, but if you look at valuations, they're certainly no longer cheap. So some sort of range-bound activity leading into the election, I think, makes sense. We are overweight the technology sector in India, as well as if we look at the industrials and healthcare as well. So those are the three sectors we prefer in India at this stage.
Meantime, let's get a handle as to how the F&O activity also shaped up for the day. We've got Navneet standing by from our research team. And Navneet, it is expiry week, a truncated one, and then pretty hefty volumes in the F&O side of the market.
Well, good day of trade as well as good start to the week. We had a record closing coming in on Nifty and Sensex today. Whereas if you look at the Nifty April futures, they closed above the 600 mark today with a premium of almost over 20 points. The May futures added close to 25 lakh shares, whereas the April futures added about 8 lakh shares. Mind you, the rollovers this time around they seem to be on the lower side. Towards the closing, Nifty rollovers stood at about 31%. If you look at the options data, your India Volatility Index surged sharply today. In fact, intraday session, it also touched the level of 38, which was almost 3-year high for that, but towards the end it closed higher by about 11%. In PCI remained unchanged at 1.06. In terms of open interest addition, call writing was seen at 6850 as well as the 6900 strike. On the put side, major addition was seen for the 67, 68 as well as the 6850 strike. In terms of active stock futures, you had short covering coming in for L&T as well as Sesa Sterlite. Your auto stocks like Maruti and M&M were active today. Bharti Airtel surged in the second half of session. IndusInd Bank, SBI saw fresh long positions, whereas the other banking counters like PNB was also up. That saw short covering on the futures side. Hindalco also saw short covering, whereas short positions were seen for Wipro, which was the biggest loser on Nifty today. From the broader markets, you had Biocon and Adani Ports doing pretty well. Long positions were seen there. In fact, JSW Steel as well as Ashok Leyland rose over 5%, and short positions were seen for Sun TV.